I'm Elizabeth Hokai, and I'm going to reteach Chapter 12, Section 6, Surface Area and Volume of Spheres. Before we begin, let's go over some basic vocabulary. A sphere is a set of all points in space equidistant from a given point, the center of the sphere. The center is the point on a sphere that all points are equidistant from. The radius is a segment from the center to a point on the sphere. A chord of a sphere is a segment whose endpoints are on the sphere. The diameter of a sphere is a chord that contains the center. The great circle is the intersection of a sphere and a plane that contains the center of the sphere. Also, hemispheres are two congruent halves of a sphere. The formula for finding the surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times the radius squared. The formula for volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. Some common mistakes are forgetting to square the radius when finding surface area, squaring the radius instead of cubing it when finding volume, using the diameter instead of the radius, and of course forgetting to put units squared or units cubed. And now for the fun part. Why don't we play a game? How about anytime you see a sphere, I'll stop the movie clip. Then we'll find the surface area and volume.
I'm telling you, Big Daddy, you're going to be seeing this face on TV a lot more often.
Yep.
No, my baby, look, she needs to be driven. My baby, I'll call you.
Stop! I'm sure you've noticed the big green walking sphere, Mike Wazowski, but let's go ahead and look at it again.
I'm telling you, Big Daddy, you're going to be seeing this face on TV a lot more often.
Yep.
No, my baby, look, she needs to...
As you can see, Mike Wazowski is almost a perfect sphere. And for this, we're going to assume he is, just so we can do the work. Let's pretend the circle is Mike Wazowski, with a diameter of 2 feet. I'm going to write in pen so you can see better. Since we know the diameter is 2 feet, and the radius is half of the diameter, then the radius must be 1 foot. The equation to find surface area is 4 times pi times r squared. Don't forget to square the radius. Since the radius is 1, we can plug that in for r. 1 squared is 1, so the surface area is 4 times pi times 1. Simplify that and you get 4 pi feet squared, which is the exact answer. But we also want to find an estimate rounded to the nearest hundredth, which is 12.57 feet squared. Don't forget the units is squared. Now let's find the volume. The formula to find the volume is 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. Again, we plug in 1 for r, and 1 cubed is 1, so the volume equals 4/3 times pi times 1. Simplify that and you get 4/3 pi feet cubed, which is the exact answer. The rounded answer is about 4.19 feet cubed. Now let's look at another clip.
Well, I don't think that date could have gone any worse.
Stop! It's hard to miss the giant glowing hemisphere, but why don't we take a better look?
Well, I don't think that date could have gone any worse.
See that there in the background? No, it's not a sphere, it's a hemisphere, which means that the surface area and volume are going to be half the surface area and volume of a regular sphere. Let's say that this hemisphere has a diameter of 10 miles. Since we know that the radius is half of the diameter, and the diameter in this case is 10 miles, then the radius must be 5 miles. The formula to find the surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times the radius squared. Then you plug in 5 for the radius, and you square it. Then you get 4 times pi times 25. Simplify that and you get 100 pi. Now we're going to divide it by 2 because it's a hemisphere and not a whole sphere. Once you divide by 2, you should get 50 pi. And 50 pi miles squared is your exact answer. The rounded answer is about 157.08 miles squared. Now for the volume. To find the volume, you do 4/3 pi times the radius cubed. Substitute 5 for the radius, then you get 4/3 pi times 125. Simplify that and you should get 166 2/3 pi. Now we're going to divide by 2 and you should get 88 1/3 pi. And 88 1/3 pi miles cubed is your exact answer. and the rounded answer is about 261.80 miles cubed.
Can you believe that? Do I look abominable to you? Snow cone?
Stop! Do you see those tiny snow cones back there? Those are spheres as well. Let's watch the clip again and see if you catch it this time.
Can you believe that? Do I look abominable to you? Snow cone?
Did you see them this time? Why don't we see if we can find the surface area and volume of those? Let's say that the diameter of these tiny snow cones is 1 centimeter. Since the radius is 1/2 of the diameter, the radius is 1/2 a centimeter. The formula for surface area is 4 times pi times the radius squared. Plug in 1/2 for the radius and square 0.5, which is 0.25, then multiply by 4, which is 1. So the exact answer is pi centimeters squared, and the rounded answer is 3.14 centimeters squared. Now for volume. Plug in 0.5 for the radius and cube it to get 0.125. Then multiply that by 4 and get 1/6. So 1/6 pi centimeters cubed is the exact answer, and the rounded answer is 0.52 centimeters cubed. Now for our final clip.
Okay, you finished now, right? Hello? Ah!
Stop! Did you see the eyeball in Boo's costume? Let's check it out one more time.
Okay, you finished now, right? Hello? Ah!
Our final task is to find the surface area and volume of the eye on Boo's costume. It shouldn't be that hard. Why don't we try it out? Let's say the diameter of the eye on Boo's costume is 5 inches. Since the radius is half the diameter, then the radius is 2.5 inches. The formula to find the surface area of a sphere is 4 times pi times the radius squared. Plug in 2.5 for the radius and square it. Then you should get 4 times pi times 6.25. Then simplify that and you get 25 pi inches squared, which is your exact answer. The rounded answer is about 78.54 inches squared. Now let's find the volume. The formula to find the volume is 4/3 pi times radius cubed. Plug in 2.5 for the radius and cube it. Then you should get 4/3 pi times 15.625. Simplify that and you should get 20 5/6 pi inches cubed, which is the exact answer. The rounded answer is about 65.45 inches cubed. Thanks for watching!